Right, happy Homebrew Wednesday. While the Sip It video I just did with this beer is uploading, may as well make another video and do a sort of a Homebrew Wednesday on a Thursday. And most of you will probably see it on Friday. Right. Things that are coming up for me. I may or may not film it. We'll see. Hopefully I do. Should get time. I've got about 5 kilos of Gladfield ale malt, and got a bit of acidulated and some light crystal or Carabelge. So what I'm thinking of doing is sort of doing a excuse me, just sort of using up all of the hops, leftover hops that I have from my last batch, which was an IPA. The supercharger it was a while ago now, wasn't it? Jeez, it's like half a year ago. So I've got sort of 10 grams of this and 20 grams of that and 30 grams of this, and just want to use it up. Plus I've got some whole wet Nelson Sauvin hops in the freezer, which they're probably disintegrated and old and funny by now, but I thought I might try add them to the end of the boil or something, just to, a little bit more. So that's what I'll probably do with all this. I'll plan to make kind of a double IPA. So with 5 kilos of grain, I should be able to get a good 7% off a 20 litre batch. So maybe if I dial that back to 18 litres, I should be able to get the 8 that I need. So we'll give that a crack. The other thing coming up, I actually did a deal with a friend at work. He gave me an internet router, a Fritz box, which are brilliant routers. We really needed one, and that thing just ticks all the boxes. Perfect. We'll probably be able to use it for fibre when we get in a few months as well. At the moment we've only got ADSL2. We get about a megabyte a second, or 9 megabits or 10 megabits with that. Hopefully with fibre we'll be getting more sort of 10 megabytes a second or 100 megabit. So that'll be pretty cool. Some people out there will know what I'm on about, and some people, because that's how this stuff is, right? Jeez. So anyway, in order to trade for the router, I'm going to make an apple cider for him. I'm going to make a big sort of 15 to 20 litre batch, just depending on the cost of the apple juice, and basically just smash out a cider. I haven't done a cider yet, so I've done a bit of research, and I can see that you can easily make it with real apple juice. Some people are getting pressed apple juice from factories and things like that, so I'm just trying to figure that out at the moment, see what the cheapest option will be, slash best, I guess, so we end up with something nice. During my research I've found a lot of people who do the hard apple cider, as they call it in some states of the US. They've been using the fruit juice, just the filtered crystal clear off the shelf bottles or cans usually, and they've fermented with apparently cider yeast, USO5, SO4. One dude did a Belgian strain. Spiciness would have been interesting, and they all apparently attenuated out. It became dry or almost acidic. So I'm sort of thinking, I want to avoid that. I want to make a cider that has just a hint of sweetness left in it. And then I had an idea, and I'm just trying to remember what the term was. There's a name for what I'm thinking of doing. Someone will know. Put in the comments. There's a name for this drink. It's basically a cider that has some steeped grains in it. And basically what I'm thinking of doing is getting the cider, having that ferment out, but at the first stage when it's all kind of prepared, I'm going to steep some crystal grains. Well, that's the idea anyway. Just this stuff here, just maybe half a kilo of light crystal, and just steep it and get some of the fermentable and non-fermentable sugars out of that, and colour, I guess, and boil it up and whack that in with the apple cider and then ferment it. I think that'll be quite cool. It'll do two things. It'll hopefully give it a touch of sweetness and maybe bring it back from the 0.9s into the 1.0s, which would be good, because a lot of people have talked about in their ciders, they've gone into the 0.9 of the specific gravity region, and they've been finding it quite tart and sometimes a little astringent. So we want to get away from that and bring it back to the sweet side. And apparently when they've been hitting the sour, dry, the 0.9s, they've actually lost a lot of apple character, believe it or not. So and apparently keeping it sweet can keep some of the apple character. I guess the main way they're doing that is by using a metabisulfate and just frying the yeast once it's fermented, letting it crash cool, and then back sweetening into a keg. The only problem with back sweetening is you can't, get 80 bottles together and give it to a friend. It's going to ferment out again, and it's going to dry out, and you'll probably have bottle bombs, so you can't do that. So hence, try use some grain. Still can't remember the term for the beer. It's one syllable, I believe, a real short name. So the second cool thing we can actually get out of grain is nutrients for the yeast. Not many people use yeast nutrient when they make beer because the grains tend to have a lot of nutrients in them. I know with apple cider you do have to make a special case of additives, and you have to use yeast nutrient. But with this one, we'll see. I may get yeast nutrient, I may not, but putting some grain in it might help. It might just give the yeast a little bit of a kickstart. I'm also thinking about oxygen in the must or the wort, both, so that we can get good yeast cell separation and let them build their numbers really easily. So that'd be good. Not a lot else that I'm thinking about. I'm just kind of thinking about what apple juice, what percentage of alcohol we're going to hit if we use 15 liters of this and 2 liters of water, and then we've got a litre or two of this grain steeped wort. What is that going to make? So I might try Beer Smith and substitute the water for like a 10% sugar mix to represent the apple juice or something. But then again, it's not entirely accurate either, because you've got mils for the water, grams for the sugar, so it's like, what can you do? You've also got the problem of all the apple juices being different. Something that's pressed at a factory, you wouldn't know unless it was tested, chemically tested. You could drop a hydrometer in it, and you'd probably be pretty bang on the money, I guess. If it came up like 1050, you'd probably guess that you'd ferment it to 1000, so I guess there's 50 points of fermentation there. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. I'll overthink and I'll get the juice in, probably do a gravity reading, just see what we're looking at. I want it to be about 5%. I don't want to go up to 6, and I don't want to come down to 4, because I just want a little wiggle room. So if we've overcorrected on something, and it was going to be 4 but ends up a 3, that's not interested in that. Want it to be the strength of a beer. So that's the idea. And hopefully he'll enjoy it, and I'll keep some for myself as well, maybe do a video. So yeah, that's the idea. Just a quick one. So cheers guys. good long weekend. If you're in New Zealand, that is.